Hi, I'm Paul Pasolka, Ivy Masters Learning Center and ivymasters.com. And today we're going to look at Test 5, Section 1, number 41, which reads, data presented in the figure most directly support which idea from the passage. So, when you read the question, notice it involves both the figure and the passage. Where should you look first? Always look at the figure first. There's only one thing to look at, rather than looking at a 90-line passage and trying to find your answer. And sometimes you get lucky and you can answer the question just based on the figure, but you should still, provided you have time, check back with the passage and make sure it's consistent as well. So we look at answer choice A. The mean score of artificially downvoted comments is similar to that of the control group. Let's go to the figure. And always pay attention to the title, X and Y axis, any trends and correlations before you answer the question. Notice the title, artificially upvoted comments versus control comments. You have the mean score on the Y axis. You've got the category of news on the X axis, and you can see it, business, culture, and society, politics, IT, fun, economics, and general news. And you have your legend here. The control is the open circle with a range. The artificially upvoted is the closed circle with a range, and you have your maximum and minimum of that range. So the problem with that answer choice is that this graphic is looking at artificially upvoted comments, and the answer choice is about artificially downvoted comments. So since the figure is not measuring that at all, it cannot be the correct answer. Answer choice B. The patterns observed in the experiment suggest that people are suspicious of negative social influence. Well, could the figure measure suspicion? That's questionable, but the answer choice is talking about negative social influence. If anything, that would be downvoting something rather than upvoting it. Upvoting it would be considered positive social influence. So again, the graphic is not investigating negative social influence, artificially downvotes. We move to answer choice C. The positive bias observed in users of the news site may not apply to human behavior in other contexts. So what we see here, positive bias, so looking good, observed in users of the news site, we had category of news on the x-axis there, may not apply to human behavior in other contexts. So human behavior in other contexts is not measured by this figure. All we see is category of news. So that's not our answer either. It must be D. Answer choice D. The type of story being commented on, category of news, has an impact on the degree to which people can be influenced. Let's go back to the graphic. It looks like when the category of news, for example, is general news, then people are not influenced very much. Look at your artificially upvoted and your control group are very close as far as your mean score of how much they're influenced. If, on the other hand, we look at business, we can see that there's a big difference between the control and the artificially upvoted. So the category of news does depend, how much the influence is depends on the category of news. Category of news, type of story being commented, impact on the degree to which people are influenced. We have to also find support for that in the passage. And if we look around here, let's say line 76, this is Watts, Duncan Watts, New York, a network scientist at Microsoft Research in New York City. What's he say? He points out that the category of news items in the experiment has a strong effect on how much people could be manipulated. And that's exactly what we see with the disparity between business and general news, for example. So we have our correct answer D. Thank you for joining us today. If you like this video, click like. You can share it with someone who has trouble with these graphic questions on the reading passage. If there's any question you'd like to see answered on any official PSAT or SAT or ACT, you can leave that in the comments as well. I'd be happy to shoot a video on it. And click subscribe so you don't miss anything. Have a great day.